Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly, and today we have some more exciting DayZ standalone news coming out of September 23rd status report on the dev hub at DayZ.com. And we have a lot of awesome things to talk about, so let's get right into it. First off, for everybody who likes to hang out on Twitch, Twitchcon will be happening this Friday, September 25th and 26th, and Brian Hicks will be attending the event and will be discussing aerial transportation, contaminated terrain, and more that should be taking place at twitch.tv/DayZ. Definitely keep your eyes on that, and also the developers' Twitter accounts. Links to that will be in the description box below. One of the new features that is going to be on the 0.59 experimental branch is region control, which is a huge step forward in the economy. Now, this is an idea that Brian has talked about a few times before in the past, but let me just kind of explain it. Essentially, on the coast, you're going to be getting some basic starting supplies. So cans of beans, maybe some really light weaponry like Makarovs, magazines, 38 auto, very light ammo types, nothing too crazy, no M4s, no AKs, nothing insane like that. And have different regional controls. The further you go inland, the higher probability that you're going to be finding something nice. Right now, things kind of work based on location, house, that kind of thing. So if you go into the greenhouse, you're going to find X item. You go into the military barracks, you have a chance of finding X item. In the future, that could change. Instead, if you go into a greenhouse in Novoye Petrovka, you may find something that might be military. Who knows? Because it's so far into the northwest. The idea behind this is to give players the basic supplies that they need to survive, to go further inland, to get better tiered loot. Currently, right now, since everything is kind of fairly scarce and spread out across the entire map, if you spawn in Berezino, you are not necessarily guaranteed to find a lot of food. It's going to be interesting to see how this new regional change is going to affect the flow and the player movement on Chernarus. Next, we have a change to firearms and ammunition spawn rates. Currently in the game, ammo is much more common than the actual firearm. You can travel for hours and maybe not find a Mosin or not find the weapon that you're looking for. Now, ammunition is going to be very rare and firearms are going to be more common. Now, this doesn't guarantee that if you go into the first house, you're going to find a Winchester, but this means that if you're going to be looking through a large area of the map, you will most likely find the weapon that you are looking for, and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 rounds for that gun. I'm not exactly too sure how common ammo will be now because it's increased its rarity, but it would be interesting to see only having 1 to 5 shots for your gun. Like if you're running around with a Mosin, having to really pick your shots, or maybe having an SKS with only like 7 rounds, you're gonna have to be extremely accurate. And also the ammunition types like 7.60 by 39, 45 ACP, and more of the rare ammo types that are typically only spawning on helicopter crashes or on military bases. There are now more spawn locations for these ammo types across the map. The reason behind this is obviously you can find 1911s everywhere, but you can only find the magazines and no ammo boxes, which is kind of strange. And also the IZH, which is now a common weapon spawn. You have to go all the way to a military camp to find ammo for that weapon. Although ammo is extremely plentiful at military bases, it still forces players to have to go there for an ammunition type for a very lackluster weapon. The IZH is not very good. Who knows, we might see more of the IZH now that we can find ammo in more common areas. Some more news that is probably going to make a lot of people happy. The current duplication and magazine manipulation bugs have been resolved and fixed in 0.59 experimental, so you can finally feast off the tears of all those idiots that have been using these bugs to their advantage. No more are people going to be just running in mindlessly because they know they have a duplicated M4 back at their base. It's definitely going to add a lot more value to weapons like the M4, like the 5.56, and the SVD, which has largely been duplicated and decreasing its value and causing players to act very suicidal and rushy with them. Also, the NATO gear that's been spawning at the Kwanzat huts, or the IMEDs, or the Obama tents, or the officers' tents, or the commanders' tents, whatever you want to call it, at the military base at Mishkino and Northwest Airfield will no longer be spawning that gear. So you are once again going to have to go to a UH-1Y to find your N4 to get your AUG, your FNX-45, and your USMC pants. Thank God, because there's way too many M4s currently in the game, and it is really throwing off combat and PvP. let's get back to some of the more common loot. I want to see some Mosin fights. I want to see some Blaze fights going down at the Northwest Airfield. No longer do I want to see a billion people there with M4s. And lastly, but certainly not least, the motorcycle. We finally have a model of a work in progress for the motorcycle that is expected to release to experimental DayZ in 0.6. So we can finally see a one-seater, two-wheel vehicle coming into the game very soon. This is extremely exciting for me and all these players who used to play in the mod, who used to love running around with their motorcycles, hiding it in the North Woods at their little base camps. This is finally going to be in the game very soon. I cannot wait to see the motorcycle in the game, and obviously you're going to have to find the parts to make it to work, just like the current vehicle sets, but it is awesome to finally see lots of different diversity of cars and vehicles coming into DayZ. It is much needed, and I am super excited about this. I want to know what you guys have to say about the motorcycle in the comment section below. Okay, now let's talk about bugs. So currently the development team is working on network optimization that has been causing desync gunshots and vehicle positioning problems. They're going to be still being worked on in 0.59 experimental, so if you are going to be playing there on the experimental branch, expect to be a guinea pig for these types of issues. We still don't know when they're going to be fixed, but we just know that they're actively being worked on. There's also the damage system that is being configured. What damage system? I'm not overly too sure. Is that going to be with the zombies? Is that going to be players, vehicles? How it affects your backpack and inventory? It still kind of remains to be seen because on the status update, it really wasn't that clear. So I'm not exactly too sure what that means. And we also have the physics system that has been causing several key issues that has been resolved, and it may help with some of the zombie clipping issues, throwing items, vaulting, all that kind of stuff, anything that has been messing up the animations. For the most part, it seems like with the physics side of things, it's starting to become fixed. Basically, guys, that is the meat of the status update from September 23rd. I want to know what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Make sure you guys check out my Twitch channel every single day at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard, and you can also subscribe here on my YouTube channel for more DayZ videos. I'll be doing a 24-hour broadcast September 25th. In celebration of Twitchcon. I won't be there, so because I can't go to Twitchcon, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour broadcast just to celebrate our awesome community, the Deadly Nation, this YouTube channel, and more. Make sure you guys stop by sometime Friday or Saturday and say hi, and until then, I'll see you guys next time.